Right now, Rogue is completely divided. Some players think Outlaw is absolutely broken from Mythic Plus because of all the sims that they do, others still swear Assassination has the highest overall damage, and then there's Subtlety, which suddenly might be the strongest spec after the 12.0.5 changes. But after all the buffs and nerfs and tuning changes, which Rogue spec is actually the best one right now? The best for pushing keys, doing damage, and actually worth investing your time on. I tested all 3 specs, and the results actually surprised me from what everyone was thinking. Okay, so we can start with the numbers over here, because I believe everyone thinks a lot about the numbers, and we can start about Outlaw. And as we can see over here, if we see the numbers of the other specs, we can see that Outlaw on the sims, it's actually the one that gives us the most damage. And why is that? As we're gonna see here on this clip, it's because we are relying too much still on the jackpot, and I don't believe that's a good situation for Outlaw right now. Yes, the damage is very good when you have the jackpot, but when you don't have the jackpot, your damage doesn't feel great at all. And there's not much you can do about it to improve the damage. It's just how the damage is. With that being said, Outlaw could be in a better position, and on the sims it's actually the better one. So as we can see here on this clip, we didn't got a jackpot, we only got the double trouble, which is the second stage, and as we can see over here, the damage it's not as near as it was on the last pull. Why is that? Because we didn't had the 10% increase crit damage that the jackpot gives us. So that's one of the things that I believe Outlaw is missing, and on the sims it's the best because of that, because I believe on the sims they all apply like you had jackpots back to back, and that's not the way how we get the jackpots on the gameplay after.
We did it anyway.
And on the single target, as we can see over here, it's basically the same. The Outlaw it's the one that has the most damage, and Subtlety a little bit behind on the single target. But again, when you go to play the spec, it doesn't play exactly like this, because if you don't get the jackpot, your damage won't be as great. Assassination on AoE it's actually good because your poisons do a lot of damage, and on high keys like 18s, 19s, and 20s, that's the thing that you want and you will take advantage of. But single target it's a little bit bad, so it could be a little bit better. And that's basically how we can put it. And Subtlety over here, it's in my opinion the best, because even on AoE and single target you have a lot of damage, and we're gonna go through that on a second. But let's go see here the worst case scenario for Outlaw, which is you don't have any cooldowns available, as you can see on the screen, and you have a stage 1 roll. So as we can see, the damage it's non-existent, and you don't have any type of procs when you have the stage roll. It's very hard to have procs, and finally if you have a jackpot or a better roll, you can start finally see your damage ramping up a bit. As we can see here, the damage starts to ramp up, and if you do the rotation properly, the damage starts to be good. But it's not as near as good as it could be like on Assassination or Subtlety, like the stable damage that we can get on those. Because as you can see over here on Assassination, when you finish a pack, if you have the ability to re-stealth, sometimes the tank that doesn't allow us, but you have the ability to re-stealth and apply the improved growth, you'll have a lot of damage again, and you can basically just play with your poisons, and you're gonna just do a lot of damage with the poisons. And of course you're gonna have the King's Bane just to amplify the damage again and reapply the poisons and everything. And Assassination it's a very consistent spec, even more than Outlaw. Outlaw it could be better just because again of the rolls. And on Subtlety it's just completely different. On Subtlety it's not a consistent spec, but it's a burst spec trying to be consistent. So as we can see over here, the damage it's consistent because we have the burst in 20 and 20 seconds, and that's a very good thing that you're gonna always utilize and take advantage of that. If you don't have the burst on the beginning of the pack, you're gonna have it like 5 to 10 seconds after in maximum. So you're gonna always have damage on Subtlety, and with the recent changes with the 2.5% increased damage, it's on a very good position, and I believe it's the best spec right now in basically all scenarios. Okay, so to resume, the best spec right now, in my opinion, it's Subtlety, just because of the recent changes that happen with Outlaw. On the Sims, of course, Outlaw, as we saw, it's the best spec, but it's just because on the Sims we have 100% guaranteed jackpots, and that's not how it happens on the fights. Assassination is on the good spot because it's very consistent, but this is just preference, basically. All the specs are actually on a very good spot, and you can basically play all and perform very well. All spec guides are going to be on the description down below. So thank you all for watching, guys. This was an update video on the best rogue spec. Hope you all have enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. My name is Mujget and I see you on the next video.